Start from the beginning.
Little Moon is she, her.
They were saved by Ling, surname Wei, when Little Moon was a child. Ling is a menace to society and to Wulin. You're proposing the menace is that they are mass murder. They killed
her own clan. Renwei, who are you?
I'm the son of the last remaining survivor of the massacre.
Ling had them crucified. Over the few days that they were hanging there, they had to amputate their arms afterward because there was such infection in their hands.
So my mom's name is Lian. She's trained me since I was a very small child to get revenge on Ling.
Campaign against her own sister.
A couple of months back, I showed up at Ling's camp, joined up. Ling's maybe like a bandit or something, like an outlaw, right? Maybe I beat someone in one-on-one combat to prove that I have the chops. I joined up with the band, and my ultimate goal is to undermine them, eventually to lead them into an ambush.
I'm not sure how much I am in the know that you want to betray my parent and have us killed.
I've just come of age, kind of left the house. I need to start my own life, but I have all this pressure right from this legacy.
16 is okay.
Little Moon is going to be slightly older, 18 or so.
I'm still trying to figure out why she killed her clan.
There's a sin that the family committed or did.
She was in a forbidden love situation.
Whether it's because of a class thing, that they're too low or too high.
It seems like one theme that's coming up is parentage and legacy. Maybe we feel obligated to fulfill the role of our surrogate parents or our real parents.
I could see you coming from like a branch family.
You still want the two of you to be so closely related?
I think that would be great.
So Little Moon is actually Ren's sister.
Is Lian the head of a branch family?
Branch family?
So everyone in the main family was killed off. Ren and Little Moon are from this branch family that we're supposed to take care of and protect the main family.
Ling saved Little Moon when she was young.
Or took her away. Ling may tell me that she saved me.
Ren and Little Moon, maybe they were really young when they were separated. Otherwise, you should know each other as siblings.
How do I tell that you are my sibling then?
Whenever we're idle, we'll take reeds and then turn them into wreaths.
Batches.
We take 3 of them and we braid them like hair. We do it all the time. Sit by the river, contemplating. I have an old wreath from when we were kids. You gave it to me and I've kept it. I would always take it out and say, like, I'm doing this to avenge my sibling who died. But then one day in camp, I saw you by the river doing it and I realized, like, oh, like you actually look a lot like me. So maybe I've realized it and you haven't yet.
I like that.
The day before the ambush is supposed to go down.
That's when you realize.
Yeah.
We're both sitting by a river brook, a hidden valley. There's the sound of monkeys in the trees. Earlier in the day, a wild boar ran past me. We killed that, brought it back to camp. Now we're washing our hands by the river. I'm waiting for you to finish, and I'm starting to do this nervous tick of weaving.
You ask me an idle question. I finish washing my hands and turn around. I don't answer because I'm startled, because like it all clicks into place at that moment.
And I look up and I'm like,
I quickly answer. I'm like, oh, I have to preserve my cover because I don't know how you're going to respond. For all I know, you might just turn me over. When I go back to camp, go to my tent, and at the very bottom of my bag, I take that wreath out. You drop the wreath at the river, and I like pick it up, right?
Oh yeah, and you put them together so like the camera frame sees how similar they are, the exact pattern. You would be cautioned to tell it to me because I've been raised by this intense bandit queen. I have done terrible things, and you've seen that. So we are currently in this hidden valley. Are people gathering outside the valley, or do you have to bring Ling somewhere else?
It's a great position to be hidden in because there's like high walls to the valley. It's very green. It has water, but she doesn't like to stay in the same place for too long. Also, there's just one entrance and one exit to the valley.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to try to convince her and the rest of the group that we should stay here and do like a few more raids. Tomorrow night is when the murder squad is going to roll into the valley. And we're not going to have any way to escape. My
foster parent, Wei Ling, wants to move camp. She's starting to get suspicious of Ren. Ling sent me to keep my eye on him.
And now I have to decide whether or not I'm going to go through with the attack. Do I warn the tribe?
We will start with just Ling and Little Moon, somewhere near the top of the hill in this hidden valley. It's a place where she can see the entrance to the valley. Every day she would go and see if there's a large group coming in through that opening, and it becomes a habit. She has Little Moon next to her, and she is digging near the roots of the tree, takes out kind of a jewelry box. She dusts it off, puts it away, very lovingly. She tells Little Moon, I've watched the stars, and I've prayed to the heavens for guidance. We must leave today. I sense danger is coming.
Understood, Mother.
It has been very hard on you, I'm sure.
If danger is coming, I'll be by your side. I am here, sworn to protect you, Mom. If you have to escape, I will take on the danger myself.
She smiles and leads you down the hill by the hand. Out of character, what is Ling's weapon or the way she fights?
She was raised to go to war. She kills with a short sword and a long knife. Simple weapon, but she's extremely effective.
Wields it like a butcher. She doesn't just kill you, she kind of carves you up.
Surgical.
This is another way people underestimate her. Warriors will go up against her, they have bigger swords.
Right before she approaches the hut where Ren is finding out that Reeve, Ling turns to Little Moon and says, keep an eye on that boy. I have a bad feeling about him.
Yes, Mama. I've had my eyes on him for a while, and I think it is wise. He tallies. He stays back. I don't think he'll ever be one of us.
If he harms you, get out of the way, and I will take care of him.
Yes.
She goes to her own tent to prepare.
I go to Ren's hut. I knock, and I say, Ren, we're packing up. We're gonna go.
So soon?
You know Ling.
Ren knows he has to keep them in place, but maybe if he tries to convince Ling, it'll look too suspicious. I'm going to try to convince Little Moon and try to get you to go to your foster mom. I say, Little Moon, I really don't think moving right now is a good idea. Our warriors are still exhausted from the last raid. This is the most verdant, beautiful place we've been in months, and everyone's happy and having fun, and I see them smiling for the first time in weeks. Not only that, but there are also all of these rich towns that are just ripe for the taking nearby. Don't you think it would be better to stay another day?
May I come in?
Yes.
I enter and I sit. I say, to tell you the truth, this is a really special place to me and Ling, our lady. We do come back every year. I'm not sure why, but somehow the top of the hill over there is really special to Ling. And she brings me there, and it's the most beautiful view. This feels like home. And that's exactly why we need to go. Because if we stay here too long, then we can never come back. Do you understand, Ren?
Some of my earliest memories are these happy recollections of being in a place with water, a family around, people laughing, but it hasn't been that way for most of my life. What I've learned is that when you do find a place of comfort and safety, you should cherish it and hold on to it for as long as you can, no matter how many people want to take it away. The next stop after this is to go higher into the mountains. We often go right at the tree line. We have to carry a lot of water because there aren't streams for a while. I don't know that people are going to make it.
You should bring it up to Ling. If you don't tell her how you feel, she's going to leave you behind dead. Or I will. I like you, Ren. There's something about you. You seem kind of familiar to me. Would you like an audience with my mother?
Yes, we should value the people of this band more than the safety and the security of some valley. I'm sweating a little bit because I haven't had to walk this emotional line. The camera pans down and I think I'm clutching both of the wreaths in my hand like tighter and tighter as the conversation goes on.
When I say we might leave you behind dead, you see my hand trail to the hunting knife at my belt. A few hours before, you had seen me use that to great effect on that boar, which is just outside, still draining, almost in the same position on screen. It then switches to you, this parallelism, and there's like this wild in my eye. I like you, Ren, but you're not the leader of this village. Don't be too smart with us.
Why don't you get me that audience?
We'll do a flashback to when Ren was first trying to infiltrate into Ling's group.
My cover story is that I'm an orphan. I've been fostered in homes that didn't really want me, but I'm very talented in combat. And so my story is that I'm just kind of like an enfant terrible, and I have run away from town because I want to be with the most dangerous people I can find.
You were talking to one of her crew member, and Little Moon may be around. But before Ling can make any decision, no Wulin members from the righteous factions who pride themselves to be on the good side of society came to destroy the bandit crew. Ling had to fight the majority of the top-tiered attackers, while Ren can join in to try to pretend that he is going to help the bandit crew, as well as see Ling and Little Moon's fighting style.
My element is wood, which is all about patience. I wield 2 clubs, really good at blocking. 3 of them rush me, surrounding me, flurry of blades coming down. To anyone looking on, they think I'm dead because their bodies are blocking me. But actually, I just have this lattice of blocks going on with my clubs. Usually I'll just block a lot, wait for an opening. And so one of them brings their blade back too far. Out of this melee of bodies, my club comes up, hit him in the face, and he goes down. I sweep another one, again raises his sword too high, lets his guard down, so I use my other hand to sweep his legs out from under him. And then the other guy is stepping back, shocked that his 2 friends have been taken out. His sword falls a little bit, and I think I just bring both clubs down on him. A minute ago, it looked like I was totally dead, and now I'm just kind of casually walking away without a scratch, and I haven't broken a sweat yet.
I'm crouching next to a tree with a longbow, aiming it, and I'm just watching as you go ham on these mooks. My eyebrow raises impressed.
Ling will look back to check on Little Moon and says, "Do not let any of them leave this valley."
One actually does get away. Strangely enough, my arrow misses them. I see Ren go after them down the stream. Ren does come back with blood on his hands, but I'm not sure if Ren actually kills this person.
I let them go. That's how I get my first message back to the outside world. I ask him before he goes to cut his hand and spread the blood on one of my clubs.
Ling is still fighting the 3 strongest members of the attackers group. They've been exchanging insults back and forth. These people from top high society Wulin, the leader, has been claiming that it was such a shame that my sister Tao had loved you. I will have to erase this taint from our family line. Ling ignores that comment and just fights back with even more conviction than before. She will take wounds herself if it means killing 2 of them. The strongest one is just too powerful. She's calling for the group to retreat, takes a glance at Ren once he's coming back with blood on his hand and says, "Boy, now's your chance. Prove your worth."
For the first couple of months that I'm with the gang, I'm not even participating in raids because I'm still recovering from this fight.
Oh, okay.
I jump between her and this warrior, trying to block, give her time to escape, but I really don't stand a chance. He has really high quality blades. A master swordsman cuts one of my clubs in half with the other blade, slashes me across the ribs, brings the other one up to chop off a limb, chop off a head, and then that's when Ling's knives come in and take him out.
From behind, knives shoot through his gut.
He falls away. She's looking down at me. Part of her nature is just saying, skewer this guy as well. But she starts to walk off. I'm losing consciousness. The last thing I hear is she snaps her fingers to one of her lieutenants and says, "Throw this guy into the wagon, bringing him along." I have these recurring nightmares where I'm my mom, just down on the ground. The whole village is burning. Ling is looking down and walks away to butcher the family that I've been trying to protect. So in this moment, going in and out of consciousness, no longer blue skies, it's like night. This village is burning.
There's this perspective from you looking down at the village, but then you realize you yourself are on a crucifix.
Yes.
And feeling paralyzed because you are not in control of your body while you're so convalescent.
Yes, in the nightmare, I'm on the cross, cuts back to the real world, and I'm splayed across the back of this tiny wagon. Eyes rolled back.
Little Moon is there, tending to your wounds because you saved my mother. You were there when we needed you, and now I'm going to be here for you. I'm wiping your forehead, and your eyes open.
I don't think I recognize you at first. Maybe much colder than it was. I've been out for a while. We're in a whole new place.
The snow has just started. You say mother. Would that work?
Totally. I love that.
Ren,
Mother, where am I?
I'm not your mother, but you're with family.
What happened? Where are we?
We're in the mountains. We took some pretty bad casualties back there, but we got the resources that we need to stay the winter.
Ling, near the front of the wagon, throws back. Ren, is it?
Yeah.
You still have a chance to return to society. She said it with venom. Do you want to walk this road with us?
I've been looking for the most dangerous warriors to run with. The last guys told me they were the most dangerous, but you didn't seem to have much trouble cutting them down. I think I'll ride with you.
She laughs in a half proud, half manic tone, said, Those men don't even deserve my knife. If you do not back away now, and you join their side later, you will deserve this blade. She shows her short sword, still with blood on it, and then tucks it away. She's just talking to him without looking at him.
I see what his facial expression is.
While I'm coming out of the coma, when I first hear Ling's voice, my whole face tightens and just fills with fury. Right away, breathe in, relax.
At first, Little Moon thinks that's just part of the sickness. Later on, she thinks of it not as part of the recovery, but as a real emotion. That Ren is conflicted about joining the band and may betray us. Little Moon does her best to be as badass as her mom, but she just can't quite cut it. She gets herself into a dangerous situation, and Ren saves her again and again.
Back to the present. Ling is getting ready to move. She is telling some of the bandits who are still injured and need recovery to go hold in some caves or secret tunnels in the mountains. They are liability. They can slow down their journey. So she won't take them with her if it means they can't leave the valley sooner. If Ren had brought up that argument with her, that's what she would say. Ling doesn't recognize Ren as related to her. She will talk openly about her past. She has always been called a wild child in the Wei clan, who was kind of in an ambiguous faction of their own. Not completely on the righteous side and not completely on the unrighteous. But the clan has been wanting to cure favor with the righteous clans to try to raise their status in society, to make them look more presentable, more reputable. Ling refused to join that mentality.
Sharing this story aloud with Ren?
Yeah.
It's a very vulnerable moment.
She said, I was not even allowed to love the person that I wanted to be with. She will have passed away from an illness that her own family refused to treat. And I say, enough. If they want to join the righteous Wulin, they will join them in hell. But as you know, this is how we will always be running. That is why we must leave.
This is the first time I've seen Ling vulnerable. I want to say something to make her believe that I'm on her side, assuage some of those suspicions that she has of me. If I miss, those suspicions are going to harden. My lady, I have left my foster family. I have left the righteous clan. I have killed one of my old companions. And after a year, I know that I am with you forever. Part of me almost believes this because this is also the first time I've been away from home. This has been a real adventure for me, in addition to all of my mission. So I think I'm going to roll with fire for this. I got a 9.
Would you like to spend a bond to make that a 10? Burning a bond with your own mother, who you've sworn to destroy Ling.
I love that. Yeah. Is there some gesture that Ling only uses for Little Moon?
What did Ling do when they were coming down the mountain? Hold her hand? I think that's what she does.
Ling picks up my hand and is like, you can stay with us.
Ling holds Little Moon's hand, and with the other holds Ren's hand.
In this moment, I almost feel like this is right, that this person is part of my family, but also this is so wrong because this person is not part of my family. I'm looking down at Ren, almost like a startled look in my eyes. What's happening? I'm gonna roll an inner conflict. This is gonna be metal, control, calculation, reflection. So I got a 10.
You keep yourself together. Ren is trustworthy. Ling will stay another night. In the meantime, she wants to train Little Moon.
I am not quite living up to Ling's expectations.
Ling tells you that I want you to be able to stand on your own 2 feet, my daughter. The world will not always have someone to rescue you. So I will show you everything I know.
Are you going to bring me back up the mountain, Mama?
No, you train here. Ren, come. She's going to welcome Ren to study with her.
I'm gonna roll an inner conflict here.
You can do it too, Noah. You are going to benefit from the training to use it against her later.
8. Not gonna flee the scene, but I will choose to mark wood. I was testing my patience, and now I'm angry and overconfident.
I'm going to go ahead and use wood for this, so I get 10.
You keep yourself together. The final moves that she shows Little Moon are all just the deadliest.
Using Ren as a victim puppet and saying, right here, right
Ooh.
there, makes Little Moon very uncomfortable. Too close for comfort.
Yeah.
You held yourself together and you're studying so close to this martial artist. You are able to tell weak points in her form.
I'm kind of interested on the box on the hill.
Before she turns in for the night, Ling shows you the jewelry box, and inside is a pair of bracelets. One for Ling and one for Tao, her lover. She says, if anything were to happen to me, take this and bury it back on the mountaintop, so that we may forever look upon the entrance of that valley. And if you ever find someone that you care about with all your heart, I give you my blessing to pass them this gift.
This is just with Little Moon.
Yeah.
And I say, Mother, nothing bad will happen to you. I am here to defend you. And I'd rather you be alive than me to be in love with some weak man, because you are stronger than anyone else.
And soon, so will you.
You're my only family. I won't let you down. And I go down to Ren's sleeping quarters. 2-minute flashback to when we were wintering in the mountains. What kind of very cherished secret moment did we share with Sue while it was very cold out?
As long as you've been around, Little Moon has been kind of the baby of the family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you've never had anyone to teach things, and everyone's always treated you like you were smaller, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I came along, I needed to be taught how to survive.
Yeah.
And so I think that's when we started to get close. You actually taught me how to make this soup. It's maybe like a boar stew.
Oh, yeah.
2 days out in the mountains, like in the cold. The camp was very low on food, and we finally killed a boar and brought it back. And you showed me how to make it delicious with dried herbs, right? Like wild plants. So when you come in, I'm actually making the stew. I hand you the bowl and say, here, this is your favorite.
I take it and I say, it is. You've done something to this broth that makes it even better.
If you let the mushrooms cook for another hour, you get another depth of flavor
Ooh,
to the stew right at the beginning.
Thank you, Ren. I'm happy you're with us. I spoke out of turn before. You really are part of this family.
I think I'm going to roll inner conflict because part of me really wants to tell Little Moon that danger is about to come and that she needs to be prepared for it. I think this has got to be metal. I rolled 5.
Oh, we go right into the attack. So you weren't able to have time to gather your loyalties. The first wave arrives with Lian leading the way. She and maybe 2 people, all dressed in black, arrive at the dead of night. The rest of the group have to come in the morning. They had to catch Ling by surprise. Both of you can hear Lian says, there, check that hut. I will check this one. What you see is her coming in and shocked to see Little Moon.
Takes the bowl that she's been drinking and throws it at this person, taking the chopsticks that she was eating it with, throws them like darts at this lady.
Carries them away easily. She says, my daughter,
You're not my mother.
She wants to embrace you.
She has these very well designed artificial hands.
Yeah.
This kind of creepy wood-handed lady in dark robes is approaching me. She's much faster than I would have expected. Puts a barrier between her and Ren. I say, Ren,
Cool.
run.
So you're facing away from me.
Yeah.
I just put my hand on your shoulder. I say, Little Moon, I'm so sorry. You just kind of freeze when you hear me say that. And that's when our mom's arms just like go around you.
Yeah.
And now you're just being hugged. You're part of this family you do not want to be a part of.
I say, you're not my mother.
Wake up, my child. Forget about her. She's a monster. She's destroyed so much of our real family. Wake up.
You have to listen to her, Little Moon.
I try to destroy this woman who seems to be so prone in front of me.
She is of a higher scale.
Leon steps back and she's just shocked by what's going on. I can see that things are really about to deteriorate. Maybe you're about to scream. I did one more time. I just say, Little Moon, I'm so sorry. And then I just like club you.
Okay.
Lian is in tears, but she holds it together and says, keep her safe. I will reunite our family one way or the other. Then she runs out.
Are the other two warriors who are with her now causing chaos?
They're gonna murder all the bandits.
I pick her up, sling her over one shoulder, carrying her out of the tent. There are arrows flying, blades flashing out of the darkness, and I'm blocking as well as I can with one arm and just trying to get her away. I'm gonna take Little Moon to that tree, like to the hollow under the tree where the box was, and like leave her there to try to keep her safe so she's out of the conflict.
Yeah.
Take the two wreaths that I have, hers from when she was a very young child and hers from now. I leave it in her hand, and then I'm gonna run back downhill to try to follow Lian.
Ling already killed the two followers that Lian brought, so now it's just sisters versus sister. Both of them are injured. One of the joints on Lian's prosthetic has been broken, and so she fights with one arm. That's when Ren joins the fight.
There's some firelight, but they're mainly fighting in the darkness. And so I come in, and Ling has the momentum in the fight. And so she sees me coming, and like on her face, I see relief because she thinks I'm gonna like come in and finish off her sister. And then I observe some weakness in her fighting strategy. I come in and just put a club in that weak point, knock her back. Her face fills with rage and hurt.
As she looks around the wreckage, she asks, like she's losing her mind. Where? What did you do to her?
I saved her from you.
No, I will never let that happen. She was supposed to grow up with a better life than mine. She will run up the hill.
She's in tune with the stars, the nature of the universe.
In her mind, she is mixing up the image of Little Moon and Tao. Both of them she loves very much. The top of the hill, that spot is special for both of them.
Little Moon is struggling when Ling gets there.
Ling is half insane by this point. She's been betrayed by two people, family as well. And she sees the only hope to her sanity, which is Little Moon next to the tree. She goes and picks you up and hugs you. If you were to wake up, she will be in tears. She has never, ever cried in front of you.
I'm going to have an inner conflict. And I say, Mama, is Ren dead? Did you kill them all?
No, they want to hurt you. Tao, I won't let them hurt you.
Mama, I'm not Tao. I'm your daughter. And Mom, Ren is my brother. I look down at the two weaves. I say, your family is with you, right here, right now. Tao is not here. She's not ever going to be here, Mama.
What kind of brother leaves her to die? The only one matters is who really cared about you.
I take the jewelry box, take one bracelet, and I give it to my mom. I say, Mom, I will die with you in this fight. We are together, because you're the most important person to me.
Lian is gonna chase him up the hill.
Yeah.
Highest point in the mountain, overlooking the entrance of the valley, implies a cliff.
When my mom and I come up the slope, our weapons are just bloody because we butchered all of the bandits.
Some of the bandits call you a traitor.
Yeah, I know their fighting styles too, so I use every weakness I know against them. So we come up, the first thing I say is, Little Moon, step away from her. You can still come and
And I
be with your
say-
real family.
Ren, I accept that you're my family, and I'm gonna try to deceive you.
This is a PC versus PC thing.
I want Ren to lower his weapons as I approach him.
Okay, yeah. I really want to believe that you're gonna come over and join us.
I lower my weapons and ask for you to do the same.
My metal is -1. I'm gonna totally lower my weapon.
I offer my hand.
My mom tenses. I put my left hand on her arm and say, "It's okay," and then I hold out my other hand to you.
Yeah.
Lian say, I used to sing to you in your sleep. She tries to sing a few tunes. It does not matter whether you remember or not, but she has to make an effort to try to convince you.
I definitely remember the lyrics. It was about holding hands and family always being together, no matter what. And I hold Ren's hands. I breathe in, and I feel the texture of his palms. It almost feels like my mother's, the one I was raised by. The hands of a killer. They're not so terrifying, because my own hands are as bloody as my mother's, as bloody as the boy in front of me. And I look up into his eyes. I say, I do love you. You're my brother. And that's why I have to kill you. I take my mother's knife and I go in for the kill.
Maybe I'll get wounded, but my goal is to hold on to Little Moon long enough for my mom to kill Ling. Because I know once she's out of the equation, Little Moon doesn't have a chance against us.
I think that's perfect.
Lian knows that Ling is just too powerful when she fully loses her mind. She looks back at Ren and Little Moon and says, Ren, take care of your sister for me. She will be your only family left. Their blades go through each other as they fall over the cliff.
No!
And we're both shouting in grief, but for different mothers.
Yeah,
We
mother,
both shout mother at the same time.
Mother!
No!
The words of Ling comes back into the scene. When you find someone you truly care about, you can pass on this gift. And also the memory of Liam hugging you when she first saw you. I've been looking for you for so long, I finally found you. Scenes flashback before your eyes.
I collapse down to my knees. Little Moon is thinking of killing Ren. Surprisingly to her, she hugs him at the waist and she starts weeping.
I tense up because I do expect you to just stab me. And my arms are out, so it's like echoing the crucifix from earlier. Zoomed out some, silhouetted, and then my arms wrap around you and then fade out.
Unfortunately, she took the other bracelet.
I think it's also a symbol that she's not really connected to Ren, because Ren is just a kind of a substitute for her own mother.
That's the fear that I had in their session, where I keep trying to put in some moments where you do develop that bond. But if you don't feel that it makes any sense, then that's okay.
I loved the setup and the way bonds work in this game. I loved inner conflict, and I can imagine over a couple of sessions, steering for that experience point has got to be a really nice carrot. I like the ways like PC versus PC conflict is like more negotiation than the dice. I loved a lot of this session. You two are both great.
I want to give stars to Noah for jumping in and just being a great role player. I actually liked introducing ourselves. You could get a little comfortable.
Agreed.
I like to have a little bit of chit chat in the beginning so people don't feel like it's all about performance. If you feel relaxed, ideas flow more easily and you're more willing to accept another person's input. I appreciate that Noah is so accommodating. You saying yes to everything. I sometimes worry that the person might just be too polite to say no, and I don't want people to feel that way.
Once I figured out that trickster move, I felt like I could steer a lot of the scenes toward that. Once I had my stats down, I immediately knew how to roleplay more.
Ben was very helpful in filling in the blanks for me, and I was just building on top of those ideas.
I loved how you jumped onto the ideas I'm throwing out here, but I felt like I was GMing a bit too much, and I want you to have more confidence.
Do not worry about feeling like GMing, because I know when I want an idea, I will say, actually it's this way, right?
Yeah.
It's really good when you do that. I could use more I statements and you statements. It helps me out more into the character and more immersed in the narrative to say Ren rather than Noah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed a bunch of the scenes you two had. I wished I had more time to let you develop them more.